Imagine this. You wake up one morning to a world where every friend you've ever had has vanished. Not physically. No, their bodies remain. Their voices still speak, but something deeper, something invisible, has dissolved. Conversations feel like echoes. Laughter rings hollow. You scroll through endless names on your screen, yet a cavernous loneliness gnaws at your ribs. How did we get here? In an age of hyperconnection, why does friendship feel like a relic of some forgotten century? Nietzsche warned us. In solitude, the lonely man is devoured by himself. Among the multitude, by many. What if the true epidemic of our time isn't isolation, but the illusion of companionship? The great friendship collapse isn't accidental. It's the inevitable result of a world that prizes convenience over depth, distraction over presence. Nietzsche saw it coming. One must still have chaos in oneself to give birth to a dancing star. But modernity sterilizes chaos, replacing raw, unfiltered connection with curated performances. Jung warned of the persona, the mask we wear to appease the crowd, while Sartre hissed, hell is other people. Yet the deeper hell? A society that trains us to fear vulnerability, to mistake algorithmic familiarity for intimacy. We've outsourced the soul's work to platforms engineered to keep us starving. What happens when a generation forgets how to hunger for real human fire? The fallout is already here, not in dramatic collapses, but in quiet, corrosive shifts. Cognitive science reveals our brains now interpret digital pings as genuine connection, flooding us with dopamine for counterfeit bonds. Meanwhile, our capacity for sustained attention, the bedrock of deep friendship, erodes like sandcastles in a tide. Huxley's prophecy twists sharper. We drown in trivialities, pacified by endless chatter, never realizing the silence beneath. Cultural conditioning teaches us to perform rather than confess, to like rather than love. The result? A loneliness that thrives in crowds, an ache no amount of scrolling can soothe. What have we surrendered without even noticing? The escape begins where Nietzsche's Zarathustra did, in radical solitude. Not the hollow isolation of the screen, but the defiant aloneness that strips away illusions. Schopenhauer's porcupine dilemma taught us closeness risks pain, yet the answer isn't retreat, but learning to hold spines tenderly. Start here. Delete the apps that demand performance. Seek conversations where stutters and silences are allowed. Frankl's crucible truth applies. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. Carve yours ruthlessly. Ancient Greeks had a word for the friend who mirrors your soul. Alter ego. Find them. But first, become someone worth mirroring. Here is the terrible, liberating epiphany. You were never lonely, you were free. Nietzsche's hammer strikes again. The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. The ache you mistook for absence was the friction of your soul against the artificial. True friendship isn't found. It's forged in the refusal of shallowness, the courage to say, this is my chaos. Meet me in it. The 21st century didn't kill connection. It exposed how little we ever settled for. Now the choice burns clear. Drown in the collective murmur or rise, solitary and starved, until you attract those who recognize the hunger. The desert isn't empty. It's waiting.